Welcome to Guardians of the Galaxy. In this video I want to talk to you about my first impressions, and I'm going to actually rate this game based on my first roughly an hour of playing. So starting it off with the rating, I'm going to give it a 6.5, and I don't know why that number comes to mind, but it does. At the very beginning, I was skipping the cutscenes. I wasn't really interested in the story, just going for the gameplay as I normally do. But then as I started getting a little bit further in, I wanted to know exactly what was going on, and I sat there and watched a few of them, and the story does seem to be okay. Not going to say it's amazing, not going to say it's bad. The gameplay itself is actually quite fun. Not really a fan of the combos and stuff. You get like fantastic, incredible, uncanny, all this sort of stuff popping up on your screen as like a combo meter, and I'm not a big fan of that. It seems as though with this game, the target audience is pretty much teenager, like I'd say child to teenager. Anything over like 15, 16 years old, you're not gonna be really into it unless you're like a huge fan of Guardians of the Galaxy. And the thing about this is, it's a really tough one because the game costs £60. It's a full price AAA game. And even though it's single player, there's no bugs or anything I've encountered, I don't think, even giving it a 6.5, I can recommend it for £60. Unless you are really, really interested, I just don't think it's worth that much. Like maybe a £40 game. Like it should be down as a single player AA or something like that. I really cannot recommend it for its full £60 price tag. There's just a lot of childish stuff in there. The dialogue can be incredibly cringy, but the art design of the game is good. I love the fact that they've put a streamer mode in the game so you don't have to have any issues with copyright from music. There are several things in this game they have done really well. It's a single player game and you have outfits in this game, so you can actually change how all of your characters look, and you don't have to pay for it, which is a really nice touch. In the difficulty settings, you can set the hardest difficulty, but you can change the damage you deal and the damage you take. So it will basically have your own custom preset, instead of having a pre-made one, which is actually a nice touch for any sort of game. You don't see it too often, where you can go into all the parameters and change it to how you want the game to feel. This is a single player only game, developed by Eidos Montreal, and it's been published by Square Enix. Square Enix do need to make a comeback. They've been trying to bounce off Avengers and then Outriders, and it hasn't really gone too good for them. But this game, I feel, can actually be pretty good if you get into it, if Guardians of the Galaxy and all the Marvel stuff is something that you're interested in. So good art design, there's nice difficulty settings and stuff you can change. There's a photo mode. There are 16 chapters in the game. They will more or less take around an hour each to beat, so the game on average will last around 16 hours. It depends on how much exploration you want to do. There is a crafting system where you can craft perks. You get things like fast reload, and when you reload, if you hit the trigger for it, you will actually deal extra damage in the first couple of rounds. You have extra health, you have this sort of like resource component thing for your crafting. It's a localizer, so it'll specify exactly where they are when you equip your visor. So there's perks in the game, you have abilities for all of the characters. One thing I really like about the combat is you actually get to use the other characters in the game. You're not just controlling Star-Lord. So for an example, Rocket will have this little salvo he can fire, deals like quite heavy damage. Groot can entangle enemies to keep them in the same place and so they can't attack you. Gamora can deal heavy damage with her sword attack. And then Drax can, as well as moving incredibly heavy objects to help you with progression, Drax can also stagger enemies and lower their resistance so you can deal more damage to them. So each of the characters has their own little thing they can help you out with. As I said, you can change all their abilities and stuff as you get further into the game. You get components to craft, there's collectibles in the game. The art design's really good. Overall, so far, based on roughly an hour of playing, first impressions, I'm happy to give it a 6.5. So what I'm going to do now is disappear. I'm going to go play some more Guardians of the Galaxy and bring you more content for it. So that's going to do it for this one. Let me know your thoughts and stuff in the comments, and I'll see you in the next video. I hope you guys enjoyed it.